Okay guys, what we were doing there was I was showing one of the students how to send, send a PDF file, to save the PDF file. So what you do, just like I showed you guys, you go into Alt-O, we're already in the Qt PDF, but if you're not, and it says the printer right there, you go into Setup, bring this down, come into Qt PDF, yes, okay. So now it comes here. So now when you go into My Computer or whatever, then you just go into My Documents, and you're going to see that it creates one of these little red things. That means that that's the PDF file. These are regular files. These are different files. So it has to be the red PDF file. That means that it's a PDF file right there, okay? And if you want to go and change the name, you change the name and then save it, okay? And that's how you do it. Any questions about that?
Let's see how Eclipse lets you control the printing of time-stamped document. Timestamp. Timestamps come from real-time translation using any steno machine, as well as non-real-time writing on some steno writers with internal timestamping. When you're ready to print, just put a check in the box next to time codes, and Eclipse will use your user settings to print a time-stamped document. This gear icon opens the part of my user settings where I can set up time codes. Here's the button to select the time printing file.
You see what it's doing there? I don't use this stuff, guys, so this might be something to write down, so when the other maybe freelance attorneys come in, then they can tell you or whatever. We don't use these print code. We don't use the time codes.
You went to user settings, and then from user settings you went to document and selected time code. Is that what you did?
Well, actually, I think it's in. I think it was in.
Opens the part of my user set.
Into document time codes. Okay. Then it's going to open up another box.
Settings where I can set up time codes. Here's the button to select the time printing font, and where I indicated that I want to show hours, minutes, and seconds. You also need to indicate how often you want time codes to appear.
Okay, so that's how you do it. So if you want it on every line, then you need to select every line. Which you're going to want it on every line. What?
Would this be something that would be used like when they're in depositions and there's a video?
No, in depositions it's going to be always, I believe.
Always?
Because they're timed depositions now. Okay. So they can't go over like 6 hours or something like that. I haven't done a deposition in so long, so I don't use this stuff anymore. And it's changed since I got out, that they started using the time codes and there's time constraints on it or whatever.
But they do use that in depositions?
Yeah. So that'd be a good question on your question error.
But as far as I'm aware, we don't tell them, hey, it's been 6 hours, right? Even though we have the time codes right there next to us.
I think you're the keeper of the time.
But it says that we're not obligated to.
No, you're probably not. So they're the ones who are supposed to be responsible for it. I believe.
We just keep the time, but we're not saying, hey, your time is up.
Well, that I'm not sure. That's going to be one to ask some of the freelance reporters. And I'm going to have a freelance reporter come in. So
according to the UFM, it's not. But in the real world, it probably is.
I don't know. And you'll have to ask her. Okay?
You may want only a few time codes per page, or at the beginning of paragraphs, or on every line within paragraphs. Two of these time printing choices expect you to select specific paragraph types. So if I only want these paragraphs to show timestamps, I would go to the advanced settings for each of these paragraphs and put a check in the box next to time coded.
You see what it's telling you?
That confusing.
And it is. I mean, and it's way above what you guys probably need to know right now. Okay? And the person that you go work for will probably be able to show you this stuff more. But I mean, if you want to, it's just telling you, if you just want to do it like on questions or answers.
If I only want.
So you can go into paragraphs under user settings and you can select questions, go into advanced, and that's what it's telling you. And there's a little box that says time codes. So on every question, it's going to put the time code on there, is what it's telling you. Or you just want it on the answer, or you just want it on the speaker, or you just want it on the byline, okay? You have to go into advanced.
These paragraphs, to show timestamps, I would go to the advanced settings for each of these paragraphs and put a...
And that's what it's telling you, okay? Now you're in the question one. They selected question, it has everything, and all you needed is time coded. So on every question, it's going to put the time code. Okay? Got it? Slick?
I have time codes on my list.
You do?
I like to know when I started practicing this stuff.
That's a good idea. I'm over here writing them down all the time. I always write them. I have like a whole thing of times.
Wow.
Time.
Let somebody learn how to use this software.
Check in the box next to time coded. And these settings could be copied to the master format so that they're remembered for all future documents.
So if you're in a job and you're changing it to the job, it's always going to say current document. Now if you're in the gray box and you go into user settings, now it's going to say master. Okay? But if you want to change it and you want it, be careful with this. Okay? Be careful. Because when you go in your user settings and you change these things, and maybe it's just for that job, but you copy it onto your master format, now you just changed it. And every job is going to do it. So be careful when you go into your user settings and you're copying stuff to your master format or whatever. Okay?
My son used to have to do homework, and she would check our timestamps when we stopped, when we started again. She would deduct minutes. She would have to keep track of all that. It was crazy. She's like, well, you only had 620 minutes this time. You only had-"
Multi-page printing is available from within Total Eclipse. Let's see how it works. Multi-page printing is selected by simply going to the print dialog and clicking on the arrow next to full size and changing to multi-page.
You see what it's doing? So if you want to put like 4 pages on one page, you can. Why? I don't know. And some attorneys have done it.
Right?
You know what? I want a small index, and I forget what they call it.
Don't tell me. I'm trying to think of it.
Yeah.
Don't tell me. God dang.
I can't think of it that one.
Golly, I want to say abstract, but I don't think
No,
that's
it's not.
What
I thought
is
it
it
was,
called?
because isn't that abstract condensed?
Yes.
It's a
that's-
condensed copy. That's what it is.
So wouldn't that be when you're?
So that's when you put multi-pages on there, is a condensed copy. Okay?
So you were right, right? Yeah. Yeah, so it's an abstract.
It's condensed.
Condensed
The way
abstract.
that I've always heard it is condensed. It's a condensed copy. So a condensed copy is a multi-page.
But abstract and condensed are the same thing, right?
Okay.
Well, that's neat.
I don't know.
I don't know. It wasn't the study guide. The definition was a condensed copy or whatever,
Yeah.
but it was abstract.
Abstract?
What they called it, according to the study guide.
UFM?
I heard to like if they're on the plane or something and they don't want.
Yeah. So they don't want to, and they have a 290-page transcript, and you cut it in by 4.
Yeah.
Now you've cut it down to 50-something pages.
How do we charge for that?
It's still the same.
Per page.
Yeah, but I mean, like your office is going to know how to do it. You don't have to worry about that. So all you do is bring in the Bluetooth or thumb drive or whatever, and then they'll do it for you usually. But if they don't, and you're on your own, and you want to do it, that's how you do it. Multi-page.
But say that
Eclipse
they
will
want
you-
Huh?
4. So if it wasn't condensed, it would be 4 pages, $5 per page, that's $20. But if they wanted 4 on one page, is that now $5 or still $20 for that one page?
No, it goes by page. It goes by page. It doesn't go by how many pages you put on that page. It's still 290 pages. It doesn't matter if it condenses down to 50-something pages. It's still 290 pages worth of work.
Okay.
Yeah, so that doesn't change the That doesn't change the price of it,
Okay.
okay?
Use your multi-page options, and of course you can have time codes included. Then it's just a matter of pressing OK to begin. Let's take a look at some of the multi-page options. This first example imitates the appearance of the full-size original, so the headers and footers are not omitted, and the original text box is being used. Page order left to right means page 1 on the left, then page 2 on the right.
You see what it's telling you? So you can go through and omit the boxes, you can go through and omit the header, footers, all of that stuff, but if not, then you just leave it, and that's what they were
So the
just
headers
showing.
and footers are
So if you want to omit them, then you check that box. Borders, you use the originals. You see what it's saying?
Yes, but I'm like, did we even learn how to do the headers and footers yet? I'm trying to.
No.
Oh, okay.
Dang. We'll get there.
not omitted, and the original text box is being used. Page order left to right means page 1 on the left, then page 2 on the right, then going down to the lower left. This second example takes just the opposite approach. There is no text box, and the headers and footers are omitted. Instead, special headers and footers appear on the multi-page printout. Page order top to bottom means page 1 and 2 on the left, then page 3 and 4 on the right.
See what it's telling you? So you can change it up however you want. You know, usually it goes left to right, but if you want to do it, that's how you do it.
In this third example, a cross serves as a border to separate the 4 pages on the sheet. And here's a fourth example in which each page on the sheet will appear in a box with no gap between the edges of the boxes.
You see what it was saying there? Pretty simple.
Finally, a fifth example. This one is great for proofreading. It's 2 per page, printed sideways. So for this arrangement, you'll need to check your printer setup and select landscape orientation. Still, the text will appear larger, but you're only taking up half as much paper to print out your document. 5 examples, but just a small glimpse of the versatility of the multi-page features that are built into Total Eclipse.
Got it? Any questions about that?
Let's see how to print a word index with Total Eclipse. At the print dialog, I'll click on the arrow next to full-sized, and you'll see that you have the option of printing just a word index or printing a word index at the end of either your full-sized document or a multi-page version of your document. I'll select multi-page with index, and now take a look at some of the options that are available. If you want to use special headers or footers for the word index, here is where you would set that up. Consult the manual or the help text for a list of the symbols that can be used.
You see what it's telling you? If you want to go through and change your headers and footers, then this is where you would go and do it. Okay? With multi-page stuff. This right now isn't that big of a deal. Okay? And if you want to go through and do it, you know, the person that you go work for is probably going to be able to tell you, you know, more about this or whatever. But I mean, this is how you. So did y'all get this? If not, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It really isn't. I mean,
Printing a word index at the end of either your full-sized document or a multi-page version of your document. I'll select multi-page with index, and now take a look at some of the options that are available. If you want to use special headers or footers for the word index, here is where you would set that up. Consult the manual or the help text for a list of the symbols that can be used for automatically inserting sheet numbers, times and dates, or for using header or footer information from the full-size document but in a different arrangement for the word index pages.
That's confusing.
Here's how the word index threshold works. The default setting is 1. That means that any word that appears on every page of your transcript will not be placed in the word index because it's just too common. If you change the setting to 0, then all words will be indexed.
So if you want to index a certain word or words, you can go through and do that, and that's what they're telling you. Okay? Why? I don't know. Some attorneys like it, some don't. I mean, you know, and if you put 0, then all the words are going to come out. If you just put 1, it's gonna put don't index words that appear on every page. So like the, of, and, you know, all of those are gonna be on there.
If you change it to 2, then any word that appears on every other page of your transcript will be automatically considered too common to place in the word index. 2 final notes concerning the word indexing. First, the Translate section of User Settings contains a list of non-capping words. These are automatically considered noise words that will not be included in the word index.
And that's what it's telling you. So all of those words won't be included in the word index.
What's the purpose of the word index? I mean, what do
You know, like if they want, every time that they said object, it's gonna tell them, object, what page, you know? So, I mean, some people like it, I mean, it's just a feature that it has.
Notes concerning the word indexing. First, the Translate section of User Settings contains a list of non-capping words. These are automatically considered noise words that will not be included in the word index. Second, you can go to the Programming section of User Settings and edit the list of common words. This gives you additional control over the list of words that you consider so common that you do not want them to appear in your word indexes.
Got it? Huh? It's really not that big of a deal. The multi-page indexing and multi-word, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. If you ever use it, I'd be real surprised. I mean, y'all know how to cancel a print command? No?
Once you ask Eclipse to print a document, Microsoft Windows is in charge. So let's see how to stop printing. Look for a printer icon in the taskbar of your Windows desktop. It's probably in the lower right corner of the screen. If you click twice on the printer icon, you'll see a list of the documents that are being printed. You can select specific documents that you want to stop printing, and then press the delete key on your computer keyboard, or right-click and select cancel. But you
Y'all know how to do this, right?
Yeah, I do.
You didn't know how before?
Well, usually the printers will have an X button and I'll just.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do it that way too. But it may still be in the print mode down here. So you'll have to go in there and cancel the job, because the next time you go in there, it's still going to show that it's in there.
That's why last time a bunch of stuff came out when
Yeah.
I was trying to fix it.
Yeah. So, I mean, be careful with doing it that way. You can do it that way, but be sure that you go down here in this, you know, little computer, little icon down here, and delete it from there also.
You can also cancel all printing by going to the Printer menu and selecting Cancel All Documents. After a little while, the printing will stop. And what we've shown you here applies to other Windows programs as well, not just Eclipse. Let's see how to produce ASCII files. Once your document is open, there are several ways to begin ASCII creation. If you're a mouse lover, you can click on a toolbar icon. You can also open the production menu and select Output to ASCII. If you'd like to avoid the menus entirely, there's a speed key, Shift-Alt-O, as in output. In this case, you're outputting to a file rather than outputting to a printer. Here is the Create ASCII dialog. By default, the system would include all the pages of your document. But you can indicate specific pages only. If your file includes several volumes, you can specify which volumes you want included in the ASCII, or which pages within a specific volume. The default is to produce a standard page image ASCII. After the ASCII file is created, you can have the system produce one or multiple copies. The ASCII file itself is created very quickly, and the copying does not take very long either.
What does it look like?
What do you mean?
What does it do? Where does it go? How do you send it? I'm curious.
You know, I've never used one. I've never used an ASCII. I'll be honest with you, I never have.
I thought it creates like an icon on your desktop. Does it not?
The ASCII, no, I don't think so. But it, you know, it's copying, it's doing it like a PDF, so I think that's what it is, and it's kind of like a PDF file to where, you know, you can send it to somebody, and I think that they can work on it. I think that's what that ASCII is, I think. So I've never really used them, so I don't know. Another question to ask, I know that that the freelance reporters use it. You know, I don't know that they use it anymore, but that might be something to write down to ask them.
Let's examine a few of the options for ASCII file creation. The default is to produce a standard page image ASCII, but there are presets that modify the options to meet the requirements of particular litigation support programs. For instance, you would select Case View to provide a final transcript that a Case View user could synchronize with notes taken during real-time proceedings. You can also add a style preset that remembers options that you use frequently. For instance, if I produce a rough ASCII, I like it to be completely capitalized with the page number at the top left and the words draft copy appearing next to each page's number. This style preset will now be available whenever I need it.
It's just setting the way you want it.
The way you want the ASCII.
I don't think I know how to make an ASCII.
We just showed you.
Can I just hit, right? I just hit the ASCII button.
It's Control Alt
Shift
O.
Alt O, or you can just hit the ASCII.
Was it Shift Alt O?
Shift Alt O, so like output to the printer is Alt O, and
Yeah.
then output to the ASCII is Shift.
And I think even if you do Alt O, you may be able to make an ASCII through there too. All right, pay attention to this, the file manager.
Let's see how to use the Eclipse File Manager. If you're a mouse lover, you can click on an icon of the tool. You can click on an icon of the toolbar. You can also open the Tools menu and select File Manager. There's also a speed key, Control F. The Eclipse File Manager.
Control F, guy. Y'all know that, right?
That's out of hyperkeys or in hyperkeys?
It doesn't matter.
Oh,
Control F. So do Control F right now, and it should open your file manager. All right?
There includes a button which is a gateway to Windows Explorer. However, you probably won't need to use it very often. The first purpose of the File Manager is to make many Explorer functions more easily accessible. For instance, you can easily move an entire group of files.
what?
You can also easily rename the first purpose of the File Manager.
So what it does is it comes in here. So I mean, you can do a bunch of different things. You can copy to something, move to something, delete, rename, zip, backup, restore. You can even do ASCII here, okay?
What is zip?
Huh?
What is zip? That's cool.
I don't really know. I've never really used that zip file either.
You said zip, like, oh yeah, you can zip it. Like,
And you can. I mean, and I know that what you can. I know what it that it creates a file, but I'm not quite sure what you can do with the zip file. Okay, And it may go through here and tell you or whatever. But what you do is you just check it right here. And then you just move it to wherever. And I'll kind of show you here in just a bit.
Manager is to make many Explorer functions more easily accessible. For instance, you can easily move an entire group of files. You can also easily...
So if you want to move it to an auxiliary file, well, now you have it in here. So you can move it to this auxiliary file, or you can move it to like a thumb drive. Okay? It's better to copy it to the thumb drive. You see what I'm saying? Because once you move it, then it moves it out of that whole thing. It doesn't copy it. It moves it.
It's like cutting.
Y'all know the difference between move and cut?
Yeah, copy.
I mean move and copy? So be careful with what you do right there, huh?
Where's your thumb drive option?
It's going to be in the browse. It's going to be in browse. Okay? And that's what I was going to show you guys.
Rename an entire job with all its subfiles. There are buttons for common archiving functions and for a few production functions. For instance, there's a shortcut to print an entire file or group of files.
So if you want to print several files, this is how you go in there through File Manager. You don't have to open each job and go through and do the Alt-O or whatever. You come into your File Manager, click on them, and then you can print through there. Okay?
I have a quick question.
This ought to be good.
Huh?
What?
On some of the, like, in File Manager, it shows you your files that you've been working on.
Yeah.
And sometimes it'll have the notes and then the book.
Yeah.
Without the dictionary. And sometimes it has the note, the book, and the dictionary. What does that mean? I don't know if you want to look at what I'm talking about. Like, so for example, here, this one right here, this file here, only has the notes and the transcript, or the notes and the book. And then this one here, they all have
The dictionary.
Dictionary as well. I'm just wondering why it chooses to do that, and when does it choose to do that?
Because you may have put stuff in a job dictionary. That's what it's showing there. That it may be in a job dictionary. And you created a job dictionary there. Did you?
I might have added stuff to my dictionary. I don't know if that would, because I rarely do job. Like the only time I ever add stuff is if I'm adding to my main dictionary. That's not. I mean, you know what I mean?
So what it may do is when you've added stuff to your dictionary, then it may do that. Yeah. And show that your dictionary is there. A lot of times what it does for me is it shows that it's a job dictionary. So if I'm putting words into a job dictionary, then that's how. Okay? Okay, something I want to show you guys. So if you're right here, get right here in the gray box. You're going to do Control F. Okay? And let's just say, for example, I want to copy Class A. Y'all know how to copy a job onto a thumb drive? Huh?
Like from anywhere or from here?
Well, from here or anywhere. Well, this is how you do it from here. Slick, you know how to do it?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, this is how you do it. Okay. So you plug your thumb drive in. Okay. Let me see if I have one. Just so I can show you what it looks like. All right.
Why are there old things on here that I deleted a super long time ago?
Because you may be in your trash bin. Is there?
How do I get out of my trash?
You should be in jobs.
I am.
And then it may still be in there. Because a lot of times when you delete it, you can still get it. You can still get some of the stuff that you delete. So when you delete something, don't freak out because a lot of times you can come in here and find it.
Yeah, if you go into, I found, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
If
Go
you
ahead.
go into File Manager, this is how you delete everything. Because if you just go into your, like one part, it'll only delete like,
No, this is stuff from 2014.
no, you have to go into File Manager and you delete from File Manager. That way it takes care of the dictionary entry, the transcript and what else? Those notes, your notes,
Delete from file.
and that completely takes everything out.
So come the day of the state test, I would have to go in here and read it too.
Yes, you're gonna have to delete it.
Nope, it would have caught me cheating.
Well, and when you get with Sarah, you're gonna have to ask her about all of that because she'll show you how to do it. And it's gonna be through here because I think I showed her how to do it. Okay? And just ask her, you know, how she did it because you have to be able to go through there and show them that it's not on your computer anymore. You have to be able to copy it and you have to be able to delete it and show them. Okay?
Copy
it shows-
where?
That's
You have to copy it onto a thumb drive and hand in your thumb drive, I believe. Don't you?
I didn't read that movie.
Is that not it?
I don't think so.
So you print it,
Yeah, you take your own printer.
so you print it. Then you have to delete it. So then you have to show them that you deleted it. Okay? I'm going to show you how to copy it. Okay? So I have my thumb drive in there, okay? So say I want to copy this job. All right? You know, and you can copy several jobs, but I'm going to show you how to copy the job. Then you go to copy to, come to browse. Okay. Now it's going to open this little box, come all the way down to where you find your thumb drive, which for me, it's G. Hit that, hit OK, and it just printed. It's that easy. Okay? And that's the way you do it through File Manager. How do you do it?
Control F.
Yeah?
And then
Control
select-
F.
Select it.
All right.
Copy
Copy to,
to browse.
browse.
Okay.
Okay.
Find it.
Find it.
Whatever it's.
Highlight it.
Okay.
Okay. And then that's it. That easy. All right?
Now, what is it gonna look like on our floppy or our USB? Like, if I have it on my USB and give it to Diana, what is she gonna do with it? It's not a PDF or anything. She would.
I believe that's when you import the file, and that's when you would do read notes, right?
What's that?
When.
No, if you want to put it like you wanted to put it on your computer,
Uh-huh.
yeah, you go back into Control F.
Mind you, she's giving me the thumb drive that she just copied hers onto. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna open it up with my Eclipse.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna insert the thumb drive and then what?
Okay. Come in here. Come to Browse.
Oh, okay,
Select it.
right. Select
Open it.
Whichever.
Now it shows you everything that's on that thumb drive.
Okay.
Select it. Copy to. And it's going to say where do you want to put it? Into your folders. Put it into your folders.
So the
Okay.
purpose of this would be in case my computer crashed or something, I have it on this thumb drive.
Well, you always want to back up. So you're always going to want to have like an external hard drive. You know what that is? It's about this big. It's about that big, kind of heavy. It plugs into your computer, and it's like a super large thumb drive is what it is. Okay? And it holds ridiculous amounts of stuff. And then if you wanted to go through, you just check all of these, copy to, browse, go down to where you find it, and then copy it to there.
So that's the point of this, right? In case something happens to your computer.
Yeah. Yeah. Or, I mean, I back up a lot of my stuff on thumb drive because I send my stuff to wherever. So it's going to sound a little bit weird, but I use my laptop, but I don't have access to internet at work. So I have to copy it onto a thumb drive, get onto my computer at work to be able to get onto the internet, to be able to send it to somebody in an email. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
You.
I was just wondering, I'm confused.
About what?
how you get, so your computer crashes, but you backed it up onto your external hard drive.
Yeah.
You get your new laptop with your Eclipse on it. you plug in your external hard drive.
Yeah.
And you're going to import those files
Yeah.
from there.
So now you go to Control F,
Control F.
go to Browse.
Okay, I was just confused because you were saying copy to, but I'm like, it's already.
You go to Browse, come down here, find your external hard drive. Okay, now it opens up your external hard drive.
And it'll open it up into Eclipse. Once you click on it, you open it.
No, you have to copy these files onto Eclipse. All it's doing is opening the thing. So now you got to go through and check all of these things.
And when you hit copy to, it'll give you a whole drop-down
And-
list of where you want it.
Yeah,
Okay, that's what I
yeah.
wanted to know.
So it's gonna bring this. Copy to jobs folders.
Oh, okay. That's what I wanted to know.
All right,
Yes.
and that's where you want to put it. Any questions? That was important information right there.
There, I'm excited.
You learned something unbelievable. I think we had finished that, didn't we? We did the file manager. Yeah. All right. Any questions about that? File manager.
Let's see how the internet can be used to obtain Total Eclipse support and updates. You can click on an internet icon of a toolbar, or select Internet Support from the Help column of the menu bar. Eclipse will supply the appropriate internet address, although you could use this dialog to go to any website that you want to. Here's the Advantage Software homepage. Let's click on Support. This is one way to obtain support releases and download files. And there's also a How-To section with descriptions of how to perform common procedures. For some things, you'll need to log in with a username and password. And the first time you do this, you'll need to create a new account. To create this new account, you'll need to answer a few questions. And you'll especially want to click on the box that requests access to the First time you do this, you'll need to create a new account. To create this new account, you'll need to answer a few questions. And you'll especially want to click on the box that requests access to the Total Eclipse AccuCap private forums and software updates. Once you've created a new account, you'll be ready to log in. Let's go to the navigation bar and enter the Total Eclipse forum. There's a forum for those who are using the general release version of Total Eclipse, as well as a separate forum for those who are using the development version of the program. Just click on a topic, and you'll be able to see Eclipse users asking questions and helping one another and making suggestions for new features. Just click on Reply to post your message within a discussion. To download updates of Total Eclipse and other files, you can either go to the support page or just click on Updates in the navigation column. Here you'll find updated documentation, kits for Eclipse users, and software updates for both the general release of the program, which is updated about once a year, and the development version of the program, which is updated about once a week as new features are being implemented and fine-tuned. Here I'll download an update for the general release version of Total Eclipse, and I'll save it on my Windows desktop so that it will be easy to find. Of course, before you install an update, you must have Total Eclipse turned off. Here I'll double-click on the installer and let it automatically extract its files to the correct location. Then a Changes file will open to tell me what new features have been added.
Way over, yeah, exactly. So I mean, if you want to go through and, you know, kind of get more in-depth information about, you know, some of the things, block files, all of that stuff, that's where you can go into is the internet support, okay? Or you can just call support. You can always just call support or whatever, so. All right. This is adding a blank line. Okay? Pay attention.
Let's see how to add lines and paragraphs. Lines and paragraphs. Speed key F8 is good for both new and experienced users. It opens a menu that you can use to insert or modify a paragraph. The menu lists every paragraph that is a part of your user settings. If you just press F8 and then enter, that inserts a fixed paragraph.
So you can create a line by doing that. Or you just do Shift F5. Shift F5 will give you a fixed line. Try it. Are you in a job?
I was trying to write down what you were saying.
But can you just hit Control P and then fix it on the side with those little buttons? Right? Do that.
Control P.
This Control P makes a line. So you add a line and then you just adjust those little boxes to what you want it to be. Fixed,
Yeah.
question, answer.
Yeah. You can. Or you can do Shift F5, which is going to make a fixed line. So it's kind of the same thing. And then you just go in here, click that little letter box, and then it's going to open it up. But this is the way that they're telling you how to do it the right way.
But if you know exactly what kind of paragraph you want to insert, you can...
And that's where it is. The Control P was the new paragraph, okay? Which is what you were talking about. But a paragraph is different from a fixed line, okay? Or a centered line, or a byline, all of that stuff, okay?
use speed keys, which have been set up for the most common paragraphs. For example, Shift F5. That's the speed key that inserts a fixed paragraph, or what you might think of as a blank line.
That's not what it does.
F3 is the speed key to insert.
Do what?
Mine doesn't do that. It joins the sentences together when I hit Shift F5, but when I do the,
Shift F5 joins them?
yeah. And then when I hit the F8 and I click on fix, okay, so right here, right? I'm doing right here. I do Shift F5 and it joins it together. But when I do F8,
It does the same thing. And it put a fixed line, so that's a fixed line right there. That tells you that it's a fixed line.
but why did it do that?
Why didn't it do well?
Isn't it just supposed to make
It's a new line. You see how it puts you back the way it's supposed to?
oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
So, go to Eclipse. And do Shift F5. See how I put it on the new line? You see that?
I don't want to make one.
Whoa, whoa. Now
No,
you're gonna teach a class?
When I tried getting that something, it took me to find search or whatever. It was
No, you just pushed F5.
more complicated.
F5 is find and replace. Shift F5 is a fixed line. Got it? Did it undo it?
Oh, I locked my computer.
Yeah, almighty.
The question paragraph, and F4 to insert an answer paragraph. Here I need a question. Here I need an answer.
Oh, yeah.
F2 is for speaker paragraphs. This should be a speaker paragraph. F2. The speaker table opens. I'll press 2 for Ms. House. We've been inserting paragraphs, but here's how to change one. You could move your cursor from the typing keys to the mouse and then click on the paragraph button at the left edge of the screen.
And that's what we were talking about. You can come here too, okay?
And select the paragraph you need. But it's usually faster to just put your cursor in the first line of the paragraph and press the home key a couple of times until the paragraph label blinks. Then you can use a speed key. F3 for a question, F4 for an answer, F2 to select a speaker.
You see what it's telling you right there? So to get into here, all you have to do is come right here and press home twice. And then it'll light this thing up, and then it'll tell you what you want to do. It'll ask you what you want to do. Not tell you, it'll ask you what you want to do.
Would you like an even faster way to change paragraphs? Then use hyperkeys. Your cursor can be anywhere in this paragraph when you press capital Q for question, capital P for answer, and control 1, 2, 3, etc. for different speakers. 2 final commands. Control P for paragraph.
Did you get that?
Yes. I just thought that was like really.
That's cool. It's awesome.
Control 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you go into your speaker identification, remember the numbers, and then you just do control 1, 2, 3 or whatever, and then it automatically goes in there. You don't have to open your speaker box every time.
And he said it's anywhere within that paragraph that
Yeah.
you can change it as long as you're doing capital Q or A. I mean, F3, F4.
It's control.
Can you say?
Control 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
Okay?
yes.
The Q and the P changes it from question to answer. So shift. Shift Q changes it to question.
Okay, that's what I was.
Okay? I'll rewind it a little bit.
Until the paragraph label blinks. Then you can use a speed key. F3 for a question, F4 for an answer, F2 to select a speaker. Would you like an even faster way to change paragraphs? Then use.
And you see it? So it's the big Q. So it's shift Q, shift P,
Control 1, 2, 3.
and control 1, 2, 3, etc.
Right.
Changes the speakers.
Hyperkeys. Your cursor can be anywhere in this paragraph when you press capital Q for question, capital P for answer, and control 1, 2, 3, etc. for different speakers. 2 final commands. Control P for paragraph continuation, and control J for join paragraphs. Here, the
Yeah.
speaker paused for a long.
And that's what I told you guys about joining a paragraph. So I mean, you know, when you have 2 different paragraphs or whatever and you want to join that paragraph, it's control J, join, and control P for paragraph continuation.
Time and then continued. Control P. Again. However, sometimes you want to join paragraphs. Then the command is Control J. Control J to join this paragraph to the previous one.
You see how it did that? Huh?
What lesson is
Add or remove lines. Oops and delete, we've already done these. I'm not going to go through it again, but it's kind of the same thing. We've done the control Y, the alt Y. You know that? Y'all know those? Slick? So I'm not going to go through the oops and delete. What is it?
The oops is a Z.
Yeah, in hyperkeys.
And delete and hyperkeys is just a D.
Yeah. Or,
What would
hmm?
what little d?
Little d is delete a word. Delete a line.
Wait,
Delete a line?
Little d is to delete one letter at a time.
No.
Big D.
Big D is delete one character.
My d is deleting a word right now.
It is delete a word.
Shift D is a letter.
Is a letter.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said it the other way around.
Use shift alt
You
Y.
said it. You want me to rewind this tape? D is delete a word. Shift D is delete a character. Is
I'm
delete a
thinking
character.
Shift D is a little d.
Oh, press Control Y to delete
Ding
empty
dong,
lines.
which is dead.
Delete,
Huh?
Control Y.
Control Y is delete a line. Yeah.
What time did you tell Santa I'd be?
8:30. We're gonna do this one and then we're done. So I think this is it. Okay. Do y'all have any questions about what we've done? Nothing?
I will once I go back and look at the.
Guys, I'm telling you, don't sit this 2 weeks without messing with this stuff, okay? Go back and replay that blank fields. I know that you forgot that stuff, or whatever. Go back and play it, okay? Just do it, okay? Go back and do it, and if you remember, then great. If you don't, whatever. But I'm telling you, this stuff is important. We're getting down to stuff that's really important here, okay?
The only thing that I don't understand about that is how do you even make the block files? I don't understand the concept.
But we're not there yet. We're still not there yet, and we're getting there,
I
okay?
think she needs some while we're going through these lessons, because while we're doing this, I'm actually looking at my block files and it's helping me understand. She doesn't have
See, and I
that.
got the block files already pre-made, so to say, from somebody else, but I don't understand the concept of how to make it, how to set it up, what they're for, what you're supposed to put in them.
Well, we're not there yet. We're not there on the block files yet. So I mean, we're kind of you're kind of getting ahead of the game, but I mean, we're gonna get there. We're not far. But mess with the stuff that we've been doing, okay? We'll see y'all next week. I mean, in 2 weeks.